Despite the challenges, Emmanuel persevered, relying on the words of encouragement from his parents to keep him going. But he wasn't alone in his struggles. Many of his fellow junior students faced similar challenges, and some even worse. There was a girl called Mary, a shy and timid girl who was constantly bullied by the senior students. There was also John, a bright and ambitious boy who struggled to keep up with his schoolwork due to a lack of resources and support. And here we have Emmanuel just entering the school and getting to understand how things are going on. As the months went by, Emmanuel began to notice that many of his fellow students were struggling in silence. They put on a brave face, but deep down, they were hurting. No one to cry to. Sometimes the food given by the school isn't enough, or poorly cooked, and they had to rush down from one class to the other, and it was so overwhelming. There was the struggle to adapt to a new environment, away from the comfort and security of family and friends. There was the struggle to cope with the academic pressure, the constant fear of failure, and the crushing weight of expectation and the bullying from senior students. And the midterm test was around the corner. But there were also the unspoken struggles, the ones that no one dared to talk about. The struggle to access basic necessities like food, water, and healthcare. The struggle to deal with the emotional and psychological trauma of bullying, abuse, and neglect. The junior students of the boarding school thought they had prepared themselves for the challenges of boarding school life. But nothing could have prepared them for the harsh reality of bullying and intimidation that awaited them. Seeing Junior always crying at one point or another because they were facing situations they never expected to face. From the moment they arrived, the junior students were subjected to a barrage of taunts, teases, and humiliations from the senior students. It seemed as though the senior students took great pleasure in making the junior students feel small, insignificant, and powerless. The bullying was relentless, with the senior students using every opportunity to assert their dominance over the junior students. They would often take their food, their clothes, and even their personal belongings, leaving the junior students feeling vulnerable and helpless. The junior students tried to report the incidents to the school authorities, but their cries for help fell on deaf ears. The teachers and administrators seemed more interested in maintaining discipline and order than in protecting the junior students from the bullying. As a result, the junior students were left to fend for themselves, with no one to turn to for support or protection. They were forced to endure the bullying in silence, often feeling ashamed, humiliated, and traumatized by the experience.